How would I describe the new cozy games coming to the Nintendo Switch in March? Moody, narrative, and makes us ask the question, what even is cozy anyway? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you, it is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. Feels like it's been forever since we've been able to do a sit down. These are the cozy games coming to Switch this month. No secret that some of the biggest cozy Switch games are coming out later in the year, specifically late springtime and summer, so it's been a little bit slow on the Switch cozy gaming release front, but this month, March, we do have some new games coming to Switch that I considered cozy enough. And so in this video, I'm going to be showing you what is new to the Nintendo Switch in March as far as cozy gaming goes. But before we get into it, please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content like this. Okay, I'll shut up and let's get into it. As always, we're gonna go in order of release. So the very first game on the list has actually already come out by the time you're seeing this video, and this game is called Bonfire Peaks. Now, Bonfire Peaks is actually not a brand new game for March, but what is new is a paid DLC that you can buy, either on its own if you already have the game, or you can purchase a copy of the game with the DLC already included. Bonfire Peaks is a puzzle game all about closure. In the game, you set your belongings on fire in a beautiful voxel art puzzle island. In the game, you get to move onwards, move upwards, and leave absolutely nothing behind. You'll get to navigate over 200 expertly designed puzzles in a breathtaking world. Filler content has been burned away to create a perfectly fine-tuned experience, filled with richly rewarding challenges and surprising new mechanics that'll keep sparking your interest right through the end. So that's a little bit about the base game, but like I said, there is a brand new DLC that has just come out on March 2nd that you could check out in addition to the main game. The 3-part DLC includes a lot more content. With new mechanics, thoughtful new puzzle designs, and new areas to explore, the Lost Memories DLC has something special in store for all puzzle fans. Part 1 of the DLC is out now, and Part 2 and 3 are going to be coming in 2023. The Lost Memories DLC can either be played on a fresh save file by itself, but for the best experience, the game developers are recommending playing a first playthrough of Bonfire Peaks first, and each part of the Lost Memories DLC is roughly 1/4 the size of the base game. And at the time of this video, there currently is a sale going on for the main game. It's usually $19.99, but right now you can get it for $13.99, and then if you wanted to tack on the DLC, it's gonna be an additional $14.99. Even though this game isn't exactly a brand new game, it's new to me, it's something that I hadn't heard of before, and for all of you kind of like deep, moody, cozy gamers, I think this one's gonna be perfect for you. Like I said in this video, we're kind of blurring the lines of what's considered cozy in this one. The games I've picked for this list for you aren't necessarily the types of cozy games you may have played before. There aren't a lot of bright, happy animal games on this one, to be honest, but I don't think cozy gaming is just about bright, fun, and happy things. I think something can still be inherently cozy while also giving you a very deep message and a little bit darker of a feel. And I think that Bonfire Peaks is a really nice way to do it because it takes the nice whimsy of puzzle solving and combines it with fire and a deep message of letting things go, and I'm really interested to check this one out. The next game on the list is called Hike Valley. Hike Valley is a relaxing, open-world walking simulator that's easy on the eyes and on the ears. In the game, you'll get to listen to birds sing and listen to the wind blow as you make your way through the rural valley. All of the sounds and tracks are the highest possible quality, and the game has been optimized to ensure you have a very great and a very relaxing time. You'll get to explore many unique locations and buildings set to rot by humanity a long time ago. You'll pack your bags and head out to the wonderful and colorful hike in the rural areas of the world, exploring so many buildings, locations, secrets, and more the mystical valley has to offer. This game is the epitome of a relaxation, and I think it's perfect for all of you nature lovers out there who can't get to nature so often. I live in New York City. I'm not seeing much nature, to be honest, but something like this where you can kind of take it all in, go at your own pace, I think is a very great choice for lovers of cozy games. This game has also just released on March 2nd, and it is already on sale. You can purchase it for just $3.99 in the Nintendo eShop $3.99 for a relaxing walk doesn't sound too bad to me. The next game on the list is called Know by Heart. Know by Heart is a game about childhood friends who reunite after spending time apart, revisiting old memories and rekindling their friendship. Something beyond their control will ruin this reunion. Know by Heart is a game about accepting loss. The plot, the music, the intuitive gameplay, and the atmospheric minigames work together to weave an illusion of briefly returning to one's childhood and inevitably growing up. The feeling of time slipping through our fingers. Players will be immersed into the quiet life of a provincial Russian town where traces and echoes of the Soviet era can still be heard and seen. Misha, the protagonist, is stuck in his monotonous dead-end job until one day the routine is shattered as his high school crush returns to town. For the first time in years, Misha regains the hope of escaping his daily life. The game is going to feature 5 hours of a sentimental narrative adventure with an emotional, non-linear plot that has several different endings for you to explore, all while you get to play in a collection of evocative minigames that will help you along the game's story. So once again, here we are in a different kind of cozy game than you hear me talk about on this channel. We have something very narrative here and something that is very sentimental and nostalgic, but also can touch on some sad themes. This one is really interesting. It is a narrative game, but I do like that there are so many different endings. It makes it feel like there is some more replayability on it. Know by Heart is coming to Nintendo Switch on March 9th, so right around the corner, and it'll be available in the eShop for $19.99. The next game on the list I think is going to be perfect for all of you who really love Breath of the Wild and can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom. That's still a few months away, but I think this one has a similar feel that you'll really like, especially if you're more into the cozy gaming scene. This game is called Oni, Road to be the Mightiest Oni. In Oni, Road to be the Mightiest Oni, this story takes place on a small island in the middle of an ocean. Here it is said that power lies dormant within the local demon spirits that can be drawn out by challenging them to trials, where ancient demons who were once defeated are summoned to battle. You play as Kuda, the protagonist, who is the only survivor of the Demon King's army. He and a mysterious spirit that lives on the island team up to take challenges in all shapes and sizes. Though the island might not be large, this game is an open world game. It has an open world mini-map. Each and every location is marked by its own memorable appeal. Oni is an invitation for players to enjoy small world experiences rather than super overwhelmingly large ones. Is it cozy? I think so. I'm saying it's a cozy game. I think this one looks like a really fun game, specifically, like I said, if you're into the Breath of the Wild type style. This kind of gives me that kind of feeling. And if you're not, this actually might be a good way into those kind of games, especially with the new Zelda game coming out in May. Something like Oni might be a really great introduction into that world as well, being that this is a smaller open world game. So if you're new to the open world style, this one could be a little less overwhelming to you. And it looks really interesting. I think the characters look really cute and adorable. And you know I'm not a big combat kind of girl, but the creatures in this one, I really like how they look, and I don't think I would mind getting into some combat as long as the creatures that I'm fighting are cute. Oni is coming out on March 9th, and it is also currently on sale. Normally the game is going to be $29.99, but right now you can get it for just $26.99 in the Nintendo eShop. The next game on the list is called The Wreck. The Wreck is a mature 3D visual novel about sisterhood, motherhood, grief, and survival. The story follows failed screenwriter Junon as she attempts to make it through the most pivotal day in her life. You get to relive the past, alter the present, and embrace the future, or watch Junon's story end in a wreck. At 36, Junon's life is in pieces. Her career has stalled, she's emotionally numb, and her personal life is falling apart. Things come to head when she's called to the ER to find out her estranged mother is in critical condition. This is the most important day of Junon's life, and unless something changes, it might be her last. So it's your job to experience the past by going through Junon's memories and piece together a story that includes the tragic secrets that lie at its center. You also get to alter the present, using your understanding of Junon's past trauma to change how she navigates the day, unlocking new dialogue options and healing broken relationships. And even more so, you'll get to embrace the future. When you're at rock bottom and there's nowhere to go but up, you can help Junon find peace with herself and discover the humor, beauty, and hope that lie even on life's bleakest days. So here we have a very deep narrative game once again. Again, this one is set better for mature audiences, especially as these are some really heavy topics. This one is reminiscent to me of how I feel about Know by Heart, the game I mentioned earlier, in that it is a deep narrative story that's touching on some really heavy topics, but it's presenting them in a whimsical way. And I think that that is the best kind of way to navigate these kinds of games, especially for me. I mean, cozy gaming is kind of an escape, I think, for most people, but I don't think that cozy games need to just feel empty and happy all the time. So I'm really interested to check out The Wreck and see how the past, present, and future all come together to have the story unfold. The Wreck is coming out on March 14th, and it's available for purchase in the eShop for $19.99. The next game on the list is probably the biggest release of the month, and once again, is it a cozy game? Yes, I say so. Next game on the list is Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. Bayonetta Origins is the origin story for the Bayonetta games. And don't worry, if you're like me and you've never played one before, it doesn't seem as though you need to enjoy this game. In fact, this game has a very different style and feel to the original Bayonetta games. Once upon a time, there was a young witch named Cereza. Long before this trainee of the dark arts would soon come to be called Bayonetta, she took a fateful journey into the forbidden Avalon Forest. Alongside her was her Cheshire, her very first demon, possessing Cereza's stuffed toy. In the game, you get to play as both Cereza and Cheshire as you search through the treacherous forest to look for the power to save Cereza's mother. In the game, you'll get to smartly balance Cereza and Cheshire's individual strengths to solve puzzles and create safe passages through the enchanted world. Some of these strengths include magical might, which is Cereza's witch pulse that can transform the environment, and her magic also has the power to dispel devious illusions, and she can walk through patches of rosemary that Cheshire cannot. Cheshire, on the other hand, can cut through clutter. Cheshire's sharp claws excel at cutting through the rough forest to create pathways for your journey, and there's also a hug mode, where Cheshire can safely retreat into the cuddly doll hosting him, and Cereza can then carry him and toss Cheshire in this form. This is helpful for reaching spaces that the unleashed Cheshire might not be able to otherwise fit into. While Cereza has a few spells up her sleeve and Cheshire has his sharp claws, the two will need to combine forces if they are to defeat the dangers lurking in the Avalon Forest. All in all, it's your job to explore the beautiful, fantastical world of the Avalon Forest. Be sure to stop and smell the roses in the whimsical world, but don't tarry on too long, because the forest does have a taste for lost witches. Along your journey, you'll get to learn even more useful skills and discover secrets along the way. I think this game looks really interesting. Personally, as you guys know, I'm not a big combat-heavy person, but if there's combat done in a kind of different, whimsical sort of way, I really do kind of enjoy it, and I think this one is perfect for that. I love the idea of having the two characters having their own strengths. I think it keeps it interesting rather than it just being one character with one thing. And there's something really, really cool about the art style of this one that does make it feel like a cozy game to me. And I think this one might be a really good way to get in on the Bayonetta franchise if you're newer to games in general, or if you've mainly just been playing kind of cute, cozy games. This might be a good way to kind of dip your toes into some other genres. Bayonetta Origins is coming out on March 17th, and it's available in the Nintendo eShop for $59.99. The next game on the list is called Monorail Stories. Monorail Stories is a narrative experience focusing on extraordinary things happening to ordinary people. In the game, you get to board the local monorail and experience a special story about humanity. In the game, you are riding the monorail transit system connecting the cities of M and L. This spectacular feat of engineering allows thousands to commute between the cities each day in the timeliest of manners. Every day, 100 new stories are born in these cars, running on the track suspended above the bay. Sylvie and Amal are from the city of M and the city of L, two strangers who unknowingly affect each other's lives through the monorail they share every single day. Each day is a new chapter in their shared story, one you can write on your own or with a friend through asynchronous multiplayer mode. As Amal and Sylvie, you'll meet dozens of people during their commute. How you interact with them is completely up to you, and the choices made on the monorail affect the course of their stories. When their story ends, your own can begin. The season's story mode offers you the ability to create an original commuting character and experience the city from another perspective. Destinies may very well be decided not by what the people do, but how they treat one another, or rather how you interact with those around yourself. This game looks so interesting. Another narrative cozy game on the list. But what's so interesting about this one is not only can you play the narrative, multiple endings, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure thing, but once you finish the main storyline, you can then also craft your own story with your own original character, which I think is something really interesting because it allows you to keep going even further in the game. And if you're like me and you want to make your own little stories, make your own little world, then this is the perfect kind of game for you. Monorail Stories is coming out at the end of the month, March 23rd, and you can buy this one in the Nintendo eShop for $19.99. Okay, and the last game on the list. Okay, so I have told you about this one already, but I'm including it again because I think, don't tell. I think this is the game I'm most excited about for this month, and also when I told you about this game last time, I was missing a few key details, so pretend you've never heard of this game before as I tell you once again about Rakuen. Rakuen is an adventure game about a little boy who lives in the hospital. One day, the boy asks his mom to escort him to the fantasy world from his favorite storybook, so that he can ask the guardian of the forest to grant him one more wish. In order to receive his wish, the boy must complete a series of challenges that revolve around helping his neighbors in the hospital by interacting with their alter egos in the fantasy world. From a cranky old man who guards a broken music box, to a young woman in a coma whose husband hasn't left her side in months, to a little girl who laments over a friend she was never able to say goodbye to after getting sick. The boy slowly realizes that his neighbors are plagued by secrets and struggles that are mysteriously tied to the strange hospital. The game features a unique non-combat adventure that mixes whimsical dungeons, eerie room, escape puzzles, and dialogue-based mysteries that are intricately tied to the story. You'll get to walk a mile in everyone's shoes as you traverse into each character's life to learn about their unfinished business and help them through it. Now, okay, so I've told you about all of this before, and that all sounds amazing and well and good, but what I didn't realize the last time I talked about Rakuen was that this is a deluxe version that is coming out. So not only if you purchase the deluxe version will you get the base game of Rakuen, but you'll also get the newest game by the same developers, which I've also mentioned recently on the channel, and this game is called Mr. Saitou. Mr. Saitou is a short game about an average white-collar worker who struggles to find meaning in a life full of constant overtime and social isolation. After an accident lands him in the hospital, Mr. Saitou is spirited away to a strange fantasy world where an unexpected friend takes him on a life-changing adventure. I talked about Mr. Saitou on my Steam Fest coverage video, and it was one of the games I was most excited to try out, but I decided not to play the demo of it because I learned right after that if I buy the deluxe version of Rakuen, I'll get access to that game as well, as they are connected in the same universe. So I think it's super interesting that you're getting both of these stories in one, as well as you're also getting a 3D animated film that's called Farmer in the Sky. Admittedly, I don't know that much about that, but if it has the same kind of premise as Rakuen and Mr. Saitou, it definitely feels worth it. It's coming out on March 23rd, and it's just $24.99 for the base game, Mr. Saitou, and all of the bonus content. So even though I did tell you about this one in the past, I wanted to be a little bit more clear about what the deluxe version means, because honestly, I'm very excited about it. And there you guys have it. Those were all of the cozy games coming to Nintendo Switch in March of 2023. So what did you think? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts about these collections of games. Like I said, a different vibe from what we usually see, and a different vibe from, frankly, what I usually talk about on this channel. A lot of darker games, a lot of narrative games, and a lot of games that blur the line of what is considered to be a cozy game. Does something need to be cute and happy to be considered cozy? Or can we find coziness in sadness? I want to know your thoughts down below. Please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe on your way out for more cozy, chaotic content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!